Testing. Alright, cool. Think everything is working there. If you just joined the stream, thanks for hanging in while I get everything going. And welcome everyone to G-Man Gaming. I am G-Man, and we're going to be checking out relatively new game. It's been out for well, Call to Arms has been out for a long time, but this particular version, Ostfront DLC for Call to Arms, is relatively new, and they've had some additional DLC released for it, so we're going to be reviewing the game today. Just kind of give you the ins and outs. If you've played Call to Arms, then you can jump in. If you've played other games like Minivore, Assault Squad, and Assault Squad 2, then you'll probably be able to jump into this no problem. It is also similar to other real-time strategy games out there, like Company of Heroes. If you played that, then you'll be pretty familiar with how to play this game, but there are some new things that you may not be familiar with that I think makes this game really cool. So without further ado, let's jump in. I'm just going to set up a little multiplayer match here, but before I do that, let's display some of the features. Sorry, dealing with a little tickle in my throat, so I may have to mute myself so I don't cough in everybody's ear. But we've got some campaign missions here that are pretty fun. These are very sandboxy kind of missions, so there will be pretty defined. If you have the DLC, which I have one of the DLC packages, I do not have the Talvisota. However you say that, the Finnish War, I don't have that DLC, so I don't have Finland. But I do have the most recent DLC, which I think is called Scorched Earth. So those are pretty fun. They'll give you a good introduction to different units. The basic combat training is okay. It's not great, but you'll definitely want to familiarize yourself with the hotkeys in this game. And I'll talk about those, but some of those are really important. So we're just gonna do just a local skirmish here. You can play online with your friends, which is really cool. I've gotten to do some of that, and it is pretty fun. So let's just let's do that, and battle zones. I should go back here and explain that there are different types. So this battle zones, is going to be the most familiar to those of you that have played Company of Heroes. You're going to have points on the map that you have to have to control, and it's going to count up points for you until and the enemy is going to tick down points until you win the match. But there's a domination mode, which you'll earn points basically by holding your territory and killing the enemy. So you can win that with just a number of kills. Right now there's only 3 factions in the game. There's Germany, and there is the Soviet Union, and then there is Finland. Again, I don't have Finland because I didn't get that DLC. But I'm going to go ahead and play as Germany. They're my favorite faction in this. And we'll just do standard. Do mid. We'll do late so I can showcase different units. There are doctrines in this, similar to doctrines in Company of Heroes, that change the types of units that you can get. And we'll just leave the AI on average. I'm not going to try to do anything too advanced with this. There is another type of play that you can do called Conquest, which is pretty neat for those of you that want kind of that more strategic overview. in the conquest mode, you can choose kind of set up your army, and they'll carry over from mission to mission. It's not especially strategic uh, as far as where to move your army or anything like that. You don't really have that. It's more just a series of attacking and defending maps. But the strategic decisions do come into what units you will bring and how you'll bring them onto the map. And also, you're limited with your resources, so you'll win resources for winning a battle. And then the losses that you have carry over into the next mission. You can try to replenish based on the resources that you have. It's pretty fun. But if you want to just jump in and do a quick match, then you can play the AI or join with a friend. It does take a little while to run. I've got a relatively high-end PC. I'm probably going to be not able to stream this because of my terrible internet connection. I may not be able to stream this in the highest quality that's available, so if it looks a little bad, that's just due to my internet connection, not the actual game itself. It's very detailed. I'll say some of the movements are a little clunky sometimes. The units don't look the most realistic when they're running. And they can kind of stutter from time to time, and just some of the movements look a little awkward. But overall, I think this game has a very, very good aesthetic feel. Doesn't generally mess up my immersion to that happens. So, but if you're just joining, thanks for checking out the stream tonight. Just reviewing Call to Arms Ostfront. Do a little bit of a tutorial. If you have never played it, I believe it's on sale now. It was on sale for Black Friday, and I think the game is still on sale. Let's see. See if we can pull it up here. I think Steam wants to pull things up while we're games, so that's fine. We'll just stick with this. Since I'm streaming, it's probably maxing out my PC and making this take a little longer to load. It does take a little while to load. Cool thing about this background, these pictures are actually specific to the map that we're on, so these will probably be the capture points. You'll probably have one army starting here and one starting there, and then these are actual pictures of the terrain, so it is kind of cool because most of the time you're getting an overview of the map just with the with the background here. Okay, so jumping in, we will have just a few seconds of preparation time. The game is lagging a little bit, but again, that's just mainly due to my internet connection, so hopefully that kind of frees up some. But you can move the camera around just by holding the middle mouse wheel and then rotating with the mouse. But I'm going to go ahead and choose a unit to bring in. Okay. So my unit kind of appears there. If I select this icon over the unit, then it's going to select the entire group. And of course, right-clicking will tell them to move. This does have a cover system, so you can see if I hover the mouse over different areas, it does give me cover. The cover is pretty realistic. For instance, you can shoot straight through the fence. Everything on the map is destructible. So tanks will run through buildings. And it is, it is good to position your men in a good area. I can also choose the men individually. But for now, I'm just gonna kind of command them as a squad. As the game progresses here, I'm building up. I believe this stands for manpower. Not sure what these others stand for, but this is kind of my resource. This would be like my unit cap. And then this would be like my commander cap, and this is a my general population cap. So as I move into this territory, kind of denoted here by the lines, you're going to see that my flag starts to raise. This times 10 is an indication that I have power in this area. So even as their units enter, because I have more units, I'm going to take over. I'm just going to click out here and turn up the game volume a bit there so y'all can hear that. You can see that my units are pretty smart. They will automatically kind of do things. That guy just healed himself up. Okay, I'm gonna get some guys to run in there. They did kind of get wrecked there. I just lost a guy due to machine gunner. Okay. I want to try to, that's a pretty good spot. Do want to try to position the troops here. Looks like maybe they're bringing in a vehicle. See it on the mini-map there. Vehicles are extremely powerful in this game. This is just like a armored personnel carrier. That said, I don't really have anything that can deal with that. So I'm gonna grab my troops here and just press the control button. That's left control, and that has them go into prone. Hopefully that'll draw the vehicle in if he can't see me. Sounds like he's moving pretty. I'm gonna need to get something. Just trying to save up a little bit for a tank. This is a Panzer II, so it's a pretty light tank, but it'd be more than capable of dealing with that. Armored carrier, just need to try to keep my infantry alive. So, deploy some smoke. You see those guys have bleeding icons over them. They are not dead. They're bleeding. I can try to bring in a medic, which I can't afford right now. But I can try to bring in a medic to revive those guys. And they'll revive usually back to about half health. Sounds like got an AT gun there. AT rifle. It's already immobilized my tank. Immobilized. Vehicles can be repaired. Guys, actually. Decent spot. Get a medic here and try to get these guys up. I'm also gonna need to bring in another squad and try to take one of these other points. Now I can do direct control of units, which is what makes this game really, really cool. So if I click on my tank and I press E, it puts me in direct control of the tank. And can't move right now because the track is disabled. If I press T, it's gonna T for toggle. It's gonna toggle the view. Then down along the bottom, I have my options for selecting what weapon. There, so I just changed to the coaxial machine gun. If I zoom in all the way, it's going to take me into a first-person view. I think I may have just Yeah. Accidentally did some friendly fire there and killed my own medics, so that was less than ideal. Maybe definitely need to get something else in here. Not playing very efficiently because I'm trying to talk y'all through what's going on. That's my excuse and I'm sticking with it. That's a pretty big tank there. So this is something that's useful. I can see down here the inventory what this guy has. He's got regular grenades, but he doesn't have anything else. So I'm going to press X, which allows me to view what this guy has. He's also got splinter grenades. If I double click those, it's going to move. What I'm really looking for is some anti-armor grenades. That one. AT grenade armed there. See if we can get a flank on him. Alright, so I hit the engine compartment there, let's set that on fire. Come on, reload, reload, reload. It's got that guy killed. Just tossed a grenade over the side there. Took care of that guy. There's more tanks coming, so. I need to set this down to an easier standard so I can show you all the ropes anymore. Get a Panzerjäger in. Not the best anti-tank weapon, but just do the trick. They've effectively knocked out that tank, killed the crew. See what we can do here. Deploy some smoke. Fortunately, that didn't work before, but may have given us what we need. Don't like all that infantry down there because I got an open cockpit. Changing the view so I can see through the smoke. That T-70. Like only got one infantryman left. Okay, we knocked out the T-70. Like they're bailing out of that too, so we go ahead and change. Press the space bar, changes the type of ammo that we have there, change that to high explosive to better equip us there to deal with that. Alright, big tank coming in. So we'll change that back to armor piercing. Pull up a little cannon, see if we get something a little cheaper to deal with armor piercing. Still got 3 guys left. Taking 1 hit. Not sure if the Panzerjäger's going to be able to pierce this. This is a T-34, which is medium tank, but we've at least, it's like we've knocked out the track. Track is broken. There is supposed to be a more realistic armor setting on this. It's not super realistic, but there is stronger armor in the front there. If you can hit the turret kind of down here, you have the possibility of igniting the cache, the ammo cache, and blowing it up, which is usually pretty spectacular. I think I'm gonna try to raid this here, grab that explosive charge, so we can hopefully take them down there. If that tank gets closer, at least. The Russians typically have like a that hit our guy. He's not dead, he's knocked out. Down and have him up there. Somebody else is firing. Yeah. Looks like it's this guy. Oh man. That hit near him again. Not great. Let's see what's going on there. I think I just clicked onto my other camera, so sorry about that. My other screen, rather. We're still holding that area. We are gaining points now because I captured this. But really we need something better. This is late war, so I thought that got guys around. Thought we would have Panzerfaust. We're supposed to have Panzerfaust, but I think maybe the sort of all-around division that we chose. Yeah, it's mostly regular infantrymen, and they don't have Panzerfaust, so. Now to kind of spread out troops like this, you can right-click and then sort of scroll like you're right-clicking and scrolling to create a window. That will spread out the troops so that they don't clump up in a particular area. A little bit of clipping there. So. Alright. The cat and mouse games are over there in the middle, and they will take that section. This whole team only has one anti-tank grenade, so not ideal. Let's see if we can do it on this side. We'll pop some smoke to mask our approach. Down. Out. Okay. Pop some more smoke here. See. Okay. Alright, that worked out. To disable that tank, they bailed. And we killed most of the crew there. So yeah, that worked out. Looks like there's some infantry. Zoom in here so y'all can see the detail. It is really good. The weapons are very historic. Each squad is usually gonna have, like this guy's an officer, which is why he has the submachine gun. Most of the guys here have the carabiner 98 or 98K, which is I believe the Mauser. And then we have yeah, one guy here which is an MG operator, and he's carrying an MG 34, which is kind of the lighter version. Need to toss some grenades here to deal with these guys. Really bad at the third person mode, which is why I play strategy games, not Call of Duty. Even though we've got a decent number of infantry here, they have more. It sounds like a vehicle from what I can hear over there. Alright, finally got enough here for a Panzer IV, which is a great medium tank, so go ahead and pull him, see what kind of damage we can do. They did find us there. Alright, got my Panzer IV here. You need to get eyes on that armor. Can't see through the smoke, but I think he's over somewhere. There he is. I think I missed. See what it is. Okay, got some good kills there. Like they're bailing. It's gonna hold that area. Tank over there. Use my commander points, which falls under that category, and bring in a Stug. This is a Stug 3, which is sort of a tank killer. It's one of the earlier versions off F. So it doesn't have the side plates, it doesn't have the pintle-mounted MG42. It's just sort of a basic tank killer, definitely inferior to this Panzer IV. But it will get the job done. Then we'll see if an infantry group can maybe take this area. We'll go ahead and spread them out in this bunker. It's, in this trench here. See what kind of work done. Almost to the end of this match, you can see we've got 768 points there at the top. Body has a grenade. Yeah, just killed the guy there, but we're set to go here. Looks like we hit the ammo cache there. Point blank range, thermal piercing. And blew off the turret. Exploded that tank. So it was a good shot there. We were up on the hill, and the turret on the Stug doesn't have much rotation there, so I had to kind of reposition before we could get a shot off. But the 7.5 centimeter gun really took care of business. Alright, so to deploy here, I'm going to change these guys, their movement mode, to move at will mode. And try to give them some smoke to cover. The movement at will means that they will seek their own cover positions once they engage the enemy. So then I'm going to give them an attack ground order. And that will have them advance. Then looks like they're going to move down this road, so see if we can hit them with this Stug. Yeah, they're moving out infantry now. Infantry are very deadly to a tank like this. That guy was probably charging us. He's now incinerated, but he was probably charging us with an anti-tank grenade. Let's see. Go. Took care of that tank. There's another vehicle out there. Fired through the fence and got him. It's just an armored car, so didn't take a whole lot. He's still kicking, so let's hit him again. still putting up a fight in there. Let that guy finish the job here. My Panzer IV. Looks like he's taking out a T-34 there. Got engines on fire, which means the crew will probably bail here in just a moment. Yeah. And then crew members, they're probably on fire. So not a whole lot to worry about there. My guys didn't advance, so let's pop smoke again. Whatever just hit me there effectively ended that tank. I do not know what that was, but it was a big gun, that's for sure, because that hit me from range and did that. Oh my, yeah, that's a huge... Alright, that's a KV-2, which is an enormous tank. Let's see what kind of damage we can do here just with the infantry, because it doesn't have a whole lot. Try to at least... Alright, grab a satchel charge out of that tank. Throw it right on top. See if we can get this engine to explode. That's got the engine on fire, which should make the crew bail. Good. Excellent. Excellent. Alright, we'll spread out there a bit. Thought I was gonna need that. Oh, I thought that this was I think this may actually be like a commandeered Russian tank, 'cause I don't recognize that. I feel like maybe that's like some kind of T-30 KV-1B. So that's yeah, basically a stolen Russian tank. And there we go. That's the end. The stats screen on this isn't especially accurate. It's really that first screen, so let's take a moment to explain what that looks like. So basically, I just go to this one. This one is kind of just a build order. So that'll show you the build order. Switch that to AI average there, what he put in and what time. This one is going to be the most accurate page for kind of showing you overall numbers. So resources, victory points. The green here is number of kills versus number of losses. So I killed 90, lost 47. He killed 42, lost 90, which would, indicate there was some friendly fire there, which I remember killing one of my own medics, so the rest of the friendly fire could be from explosions, high explosive rounds, that sort of thing. I destroyed 10 vehicles, lost 2. Then if I click over here to the detail, it's going to show me more of a breakdown based on the number. But again, it's a little weird. So like, here's a veteran rifle times 4, got 13 kills. Here's another veteran rifle times 8, got 12 kills. So I'm not really sure why it separates that. These probably are these are probably all same squad. So that one squad there got quite a few kills. 25, 32 kills just between those three. Then there's this GoH Deutschland, which is sort of the elite units. This is a rifleman, and again, if you hover over that, this is going to show you it's times 8. So there's 8 riflemen there that got 8 kills, 2 vehicle kills. You see here the Panzer IV got 12 infantry kills, 2 vehicle kills, and the effectiveness is going to kind of be based on the cost of that unit. So you can see the GoH Deutschland getting 2 vehicle kills especially made that unit very, very cost effective. Most of my units here performing pretty well. This got killed right away, so 1 infantry kill, not really worth the cost. These infantrymen, most of them killed right away, so again, not worth the cost. So that's kind of the breakdown there, and then the history will... it's kind of hard to read. I'd like to look at this as it's displayed in the corner, because I'll know when I hit a tank, for instance, it will show that I killed maybe like 3 of the crew, something like that. So I do pay attention to that box as it pops up in the corner, mainly when I'm attacking tanks, so that I know that I got some tank kills in. That gives you just a really basic overview. This is a really fun game. There are some good mods to this as well. Go ahead and end this session. I'll showcase some of the mods that I use. So this cheat one, in case you want to kind of bypass resources, Conquest Enhanced is really fun for Conquest, makes it much more challenging, extended, basically makes the Conquest campaign last a lot longer. Don't think this one is up to date anymore, to be honest. For starting resources, I don't really use that if I'm using Conquest Enhanced, because you can choose your resources. Late War adds these late war units for Conquest mode, because that is still something that you cannot do just in the base game like you can in a single player. Like Skirmish, you can choose late war units, but you can't do that in Conquest mode, so that changes that. Again, if you're using Conquest Enhanced, then it'll automatically have those late war units. Uncensored patch kind of changes. It's a little silly. They'll only show the German cross instead of the swastika, so it makes the insignia there a little more realistic. There's a Waffen SS mod that changes the soldiers into the SS variants, and then Valor mod adds, I haven't played this a whole lot, but it is pretty popular, and Valor mod adds extra factions. But they're not balanced, so I honestly don't play those very often. Just kind of show you what Conquest looks like. So I'll do Conquest, we'll just do it on normal. I'll just give you a little bit of an idea what Conquest setup is like. Okay. So, these are the units that we can recruit. This is a great way to get used to the different kinds of units that are out there. So Conquest is a good one to play first, I would say, before you do even the single player. If you're not going to do the campaign, Conquest can be a great way to just check out the units, get to know what they are and what their strengths and weaknesses are, because it may not be apparent in a match. Like the one unit that I brought in, that little cannon unit, got killed right away, but that actually is a very effective unit. Just in the particular strategy of that game didn't work out very well, so that'll kind of help you see it more. And you can really get in here and check out these cool weapons. Now there's your 7.92 Mauser. Sometimes there, the Carabiner 98K is what they'll refer to it as, but that's that 7.92 Mauser. That's what that is more commonly known as. This is the Sicaran squad. Probably not pronouncing that right, but basically these guys are general recruits or militia. So they're going to be like our cheapest units. Now what we can do here, that's basically all that we've got. We've got medics, AT attachment here, which this guy's got the AT rifle, which is good for light tanks or vehicles, but really for anything bigger, medium tanks is not really going to do anything. We can hire replacement tank crews. These guys carry in an ammo crate to replenish ammo. We've got a 3.7 millimeter or centimeter Pack 36, so this is kind of an early anti-tank, anti-vehicle cannon. We've got these guys are on a bike there. Got an MG34. It's like an MG34, I think. Mounted to the passenger car there. Most of these early guns are going to be MG34. Still very cool. Not quite as effective as the 42, but it stayed primary gun during the war because it was light and easy to use. Very effective. Got a Kuba wagon with a mounted 34. And I think that's all that's unlocked in the beginning, yeah. So really those vehicles are kind of useless. They offered basically no protection to the drivers, so just regular infantry can take these out really easy just by killing the drivers. I mean, you might offer a little bit of suppression, and you can move your troops around very easily, but an AT grenade, even a regular grenade, could take out these vehicles basically right away. So not especially effective. I don't typically use those unless it's just for scouting. So in our research tree, there's different stages, which I'll talk about in a moment. The stages will unlock additional technology as we move on. It's also based on the officers, so you have to increase the officer to increase the stage, which releases additional research technology. The officer's pretty unique unit. Go ahead and get him to call in stage 2. Get sniper. We can do small defenses. So on the defensive map, it'll come with a AI unit that fights on your side with just a few men. You can research better pack guns, grenade. You can eventually get a Panzer Shrek team, anti-squad, which is like 4 men with Panzer Shreks. Supply blitz trucks. Engineers, Panzer Nest. Sure what that is, to be honest. I think that's one of the newer units. Down here we can upgrade the infantry, so we've got the really basic guys. Ostfront, which are regional militia. This Aufklärer, again, this is like a small militia squad. Pioneers are very good. It's a very diverse squad. It's going to give you a flamethrower, lots of grenades. Guys that have minesweepers in case you come across mines. Do the regular rifle squad, and then once we get up into these are the elite squads. With obviously, you've got Gebirgsjäger here, which is the German Mountain Corps. Fallschirmjäger, which is the German paratroopers, and the Großdeutschland there, which is the kind of not SS, but they were a very decorated unit right from the beginning of the war. So MG34, this one's mounted. I'll platform, so it's very accurate, very good for taking care of large numbers of infantry, which of course the Russians will throw huge amounts of infantry at you. You can upgrade that to MG42. Down here we can get different kinds of mortars, mortar half-track, different pack guns or flak guns. The flak guns, of course, are good against aircraft, but you won't encounter a lot of aircraft in the game, so mostly the flak guns are going to be used against vehicles, especially when we get up to these flak 88s. The 88s were especially effective in the war. Then we've got some artillery. Artillery is devastating in this game. It's very fun to play with as well, even including rocket artillery down here with the Nebel Warfer. This is a tank, actually, that's got some Nebel Warfers on the side. Light vehicles here. And then we kind of get into the panzers, so it's going to start with early war variations, so Panzer I, Panzer Jaeger, and then we kind of move down the list. Panzer II, this is a Panzer Kampfwagen, which is like a Polish variation of a Panzer. Panzer III, all the different variations of that, and you can see there is a lot. Usually as you go down the line, you're getting into the late war models, which are a lot different and far superior to the early war models. So even though it is the same tank, it's a different letter, and has different features. That also unlocks the Stugs. Again, Stug from early to late is a huge difference. Flame tank right there. There's a lot of tanks in this game, a lot of choices that you can make, and there's no way unless you're doing a super long campaign with higher resources, that you'll even unlock all of these. But so you have to kind of make strategic decisions about which ones you'll unlock. Panzer IV is good all-around tank. Got your Ostfront up here for anti-infantry and aircraft support. Yad Panthers, which are Panther killers, tank killers. Panther and Yad Panther. This is a Panzer V, or Panther. We've got the Tiger, Panzer VI. Then we've got the Tiger II, and Panzer Jaeger Tiger, which of course is the Tiger II killer. And this would be like the elephant tank. And a Storm Mercer, which is just big cannon, essentially. But you can also just, you can still click on these even though they're locked. See what you get. Like that's a motorized squad, so they come with the Blitz truck. The Jaeger squad here, it's going to be mostly guys with MP40s. Here's your sniper. The variants also change if you're in winter weather, so let's see. It's like that one's winter, so we confirm there. So the arms and armor changes with the winter variants, and you'll see that in the camo that you've got. There you go. And the tanks, of course. All of that is changing based on where they're located, which is really cool. So winter version of the half track there. Just change back to this other map. It's during the fall, and so we've got the fall variation. There's a Puma. This one's basically an 88 attached to a half track, which is pretty effective. Now there's the Panzer 38 with some Nebel Warfer Stuka bombs, Stuka rockets on the side. It's a Panzer III, but you can see this is the late version model. So it's still, a light tank. It's only got a let's see, 5 centimeter gun, so it is small. But we've got 2 machine guns there. You can see that they've supplemented the armor by welding these plates to the side. And around the turret, they've got welded plates. And then it's also got tracks that have been welded to the front. So that tank there is a lot different than, and you can see it in its stats too. So that's probably going to be the same, but the armor's 10 to 50. So let's go to an early version. 3. Okay, there's the early version of the Panzer III. If we click on that, you can see the armor only goes 10 to 30. So you're looking at plus 20 armor. And again, the weapons are different. So you've got three machine guns on this one. 2 in the turret. One down here. and the barrel you can see is shorter, right? So even though this is a 3.7 millimeter, and the penetration is up to 52 meters, it's talking about penetration under armor. Whereas if we go to this one and check it out, instead of the 3.7, we got the 5 millimeter, so it is bigger and it's got a longer barrel, which increases penetration because we've got a faster round now. So it's a bigger, faster round. So this variation of the Panzer III is going to get you a lot further, especially in the late war, than this early version of the Panzer III. And that kind of holds true with all of these. So here's the Panzer IV, and 7.5 millimeter gun. But if you check out the penetration and the armor, then we come up to the Panzer IV for the late war. And even those two are a little bit different. So this one's got tracks welded all over it, which is a real thing that they did here. And look at the gun, much longer. It's got a muzzle brake on it. And so it's still 7.5 millimeter gun, but the range and the penetration, so it went to 10, 50, 100. And basically what this is telling you is at this range, at 10 meters, the penetration is 139, at 50, 132, at 100, 123. So the further out you are, the less penetration you get. But that's the Panzer IV. We go down here to the, where's that first variant? There's the first variant. You can see penetration way less. So they learned as the war went on that the longer barreled guns increased, even though it's the same millimeter. They also change, or centimeter. They also changed the ammunition variants a little bit to give these things a lot more, to shoot a lot faster, straighter, and that increased penetration a lot. And that's reflected in the game, which is really neat. And we get up to, behemoth like this guy with its 88 millimeter gun. And penetration there's just devastating, 236. For support, can't do airstrikes. Airstrikes are pretty devastating unless they have got some kind of anti-air, but you can see there they did the G version of the swastika, which is funny. I guess because technically the swastika is illegal to display in certain European countries, so since this is an international game, they kind of give us the G version of the swastika, but you can change that to be more realistic. And anyways, they'll do a strafing run with these machine guns here, In the front, you can see it's got, 4, 5, 6 machine guns there in the front. So they'll do a strafing run with that. And then they have a payload here that they can drop. And that's 6 bombs, but I think usually, well, this one may actually do like a, this one may drop all 6 in a line. But I think a lot of times they'll just drop 1 bomb in an area. It is devastating. It will knock out basically any tank, even if it's not a direct hit. You can still do a lot of damage to pretty much any tank. So, anyways, that's a good way to check out units, get to know them and what they do. I mentioned that I'll talk about the commander, the officer. So the officer is a higher tiered unit. Here you can see his HP and his stamina is higher there. He's got 300 and 200 versus, let's see, 200 and 125. Then he's also going to have higher accuracy levels. There, he's going to have higher accuracy levels, so he's going to be more advanced, like, say, the Gebirgsjäger. These guys are even stronger. They've got 300, 350, and just very good accuracy and high levels of skill with the weapons they have, so they'll be more effective. Here's Brandenburgers. These are guys that have been on the Eastern Front, fighting in urban combat, so high HP and stamina, and again, better accuracy than these guys. Which I think we're basically like an armed police force. But anyways, the commander does have a special ability with binoculars. He can use his binoculars to increase line of sight, and that can help you with calling in, airstrikes or increasing line of sight for vehicles that maybe can shoot further than they can see, like some of the Panther Destroyers. But basically, you would add troops into sort of your troop pool. I'm just gonna throw some in there, and then from there, you would add them into one of these. I'm trying to remember what they call them, stages. You can see that's worth 18. It's 9 men. It's worth 18, and that squad is full, so it's 9 of 9. Veterancy levels displayed right there. And that's the total number that we can fit in that particular group. So that's 36 out of 50, and I would go ahead and fill them up. I can resupply them after the battle is over, which resupplies their ammunition and also replenishes the number of troops that you have. This is ammunition. This is money, so you use money to replace troops and ammunition to resupply them. You'll get that after you win from certain battles. And then when we go back to the research here, as I call in these, I can and upgrade the officer there. I can call in different stages, which, as I mentioned earlier, unlocks research, but then also allows me to call in a whole nother stage there. And each stage is going to get progressively bigger. So stage 1 is 50, stage 2 is 60, which is necessary as you get down to these, bigger tanks. These guys may be like 40, 50 points, just for one tank. And then this support be for the airstrikes. That has a separate resource, which is the star. Then this is your research resource. As if you go here, this will give you an idea of the rewards that you'll earn. So 500 munitions, 300 ammo, and then that is increased by the difficulty rating or the risk. This is a level 1 risk, so that's going to be an easier battle. You see here I'm attacking since the level 2 risk. It's going to give me a plus, so a bonus for research, 200 munitions, 400 in resources. So, I would kind of make my decision there based on how strong my force is. If I think I can take on a more difficult enemy, and then also what do I need more? Do I need research points or do I need munitions more? So that's about as strategic as that map gets. Other than that, it's going to alternate between defending and attacking. And basically, this is just a series of maps that you have to win until you get to their HQ. I wish I could say the HQ was like an epic boss battle, but it's not really. It's sort of a regular battle. That's why I tend to use mods when I'm playing the conquest mode. So it is rewarding to be able to build your army and bring it into battle each time. And unlike the skirmish mode with conquest, what you bring in is all you've got. You can't add units to the battle as you're playing it, unlike the one that I kind of showed off earlier. Another way you can get in here and see the units is to go to extras and click on units library, and set to Finland, but you can change that to the Vermont tier and see all of the different units that they have. So it's showing us all the different planes. It's a scout plane, the different cars. Change that to Russia. You can kind of change that around. That defaulted back to Germany, but yeah. So anyways, it is it's a very fun game. I would definitely recommend it. Takes a little bit of time to figure out. The single player missions, the campaign missions are fun. Yeah, I really like this one. This is one of my favorite World War II games. Definitely right up there with. I was kind of getting bored with Company of Heroes 2, so this one scratched my itch for a new World War II game, and it does have an active community of modders and support. They're still releasing DLC for this, and there's a roadmap on Call to Arms website where you can kind of see what they're doing in the future. But they have additional features planned. New faction will be released, I think, sometime next year, hoping for America, but we'll see. This is the Ostfront, the Eastern Front, so not sure where they're going to go there, but excited to see what is in store for Ostfront. If you don't have it already, go ahead and pick it up. You will have to buy the base game, which is Call to Arms. You can usually get that for really cheap if you wait for it to go on sale. A lot of times you can pull up Call to Arms and get that game for like less than $5. The Ostfront DLC is going to cost a little bit more. I think normal retail is like $40, so it is kind of like buying your own game, but you can get that on sale. I think the most recent sale they had both CTA and the DLC for Ostfront combined was less than $20. And then I think $10 if you want to get the Scorched Earth DLC. That's on a little bit of a sale right now, so check those out on Steam, wishlisted if you can't afford to buy it right now, and check out those sales when they come available. And we will see you on the battlefield. Hope that you all have a great night. Thanks for watching.